Hello, everybody. What is going on? Welcome to the first episode of the Made Men Overtime podcast. As always, I am one of your co-hosts, Eduardo, aka Easy the Shinobi, and with me, like always, is one of my other main co-hosts, Made Man Toby.
What's cracking lacking? It's me, Made Man Toby.
All
And we
right,
got a new special host up over here, but I'll let Easy the Shinobi take care of that.
and coming along for this ride is one of our good friends, another co-host in this overtime adventure, Berto. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Just hanging over here. Just been very excited about this podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, excited. A lot of stuff happening in the sports world nowadays. Can so one thing is the NBA season is about to restart. 22 teams heading into that Disney bubble in Orlando, all vying for that Larry O'Brien trophy. You stoked about it?
I am. The only thing I just think is unfair that there is 9 teams in the West and 12 to 13 teams in the West. No, let me reverse that. It's 9 teams on the East and 12, 13 teams on the West.
No, yeah, I kind of agree on that, especially seeing as how you got like teams like the Hornets and the Bulls still kind of outside the bubble. Like looking at it now with the Magic having a 6-game lead over the Wizards for the eighth seed, it's like, it's reasonable as to why they kind of just are sending 9 teams over there. But it's like, they could have put the Hornets in. And, with the West, I'll say this, it's a bit of a tighter race. Grizzlies currently holding the last spot in the playoff conference for the West, followed by Trailblazers, Pelicans, Kings, Spurs, and Suns. But it's gonna make for an interesting playoffs. I'll say that.
It will be. So the rumor I heard just because they just want Son Williams to be on playoffs as his opening season.
Yeah, that's the thing, because especially now with the NBA 2K21 release and that rumor that that kind of bend the rules a bit to have the Pelicans, especially Zion, maybe have a chance. I mean, I kind of don't see anything wrong with like it's not just Williamson kind of making the playoffs, but overall the Pelicans as a team, because that's a young group of guys in that squad. You got Lonzo who's refining his game. Brandon Ingram, first time All-Star this year. The dude has been balling out of his mind. And basically, you just got that running gun offense.
Yeah, so the West, they do have more depth. Where East, it's been a couple of years where they've been lacking star power since most of the All-Stars been going to the Western Conference. But yeah, at least for the West, my top picks would be like the Bucks and the Raptors. For
Yeah.
the West, I'd go with the Lakers, and my dark horse will be actually. Let me think about this one. I think it's actually be a very interesting pick. I think it has to be the Grizzlies.
Ooh, Grizzlies
Ooh.
led by one young gun, John Morant. That dude, it's got to be if well, this is definitely got to be Rookie of the Year, man. Because I mean, my pick's almost similar to yours, except dark horse team for the West. I would say I'm gonna go out and say the Mavericks. I like the way that Luke has been developing so far this season. Dude's come in as kind of like one of the top MVP candidates in his second year. Porzingis is, he's healthy. Still, is basically been like a good complementary piece to Dallas. I would say another team to kind of watch out for would either be the Nuggets or Clippers, because I mean,
Ooh,
Clippers,
yeah.
uh, yeah, because Clippers, because compared to like the Lakers, the Clippers, I feel they have like a better kind of bench rotation coming in. And I know Lakers just signed J.R. Smith, and Smith, I mean, barring that, the whole stuff with the 2018 finals. I mean, the dude all around, he could be a streaky shooter when it comes time for it, but he's also kind
Yes,
of yeah. Oh, go
but
ahead.
he's kind of like sorry, but he's kind of like a Danny Green. You just don't know when it's going to go off. And when
Oh
he
yeah,
does, it's magic.
oh yeah, dude, it's definitely magic. So yeah, I mean, but coming with the Nuggets as well, they kind of have still a young roster, but they have a good amount of experience, especially with Jokic kind of being that kind of being like an all-around center. Right, I almost forgot. I don't think he's gonna be in Orlando, right? Or it's kind of
I
like
haven't I haven't heard the rumors. Most of the rumors I've been hearing people not going to like Orlando are most of the players from the Nets right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, because I know what's KD and Kyrie Irving either way. Like before the season got halted and all. I know they weren't planning to come back, and especially now Kevin Durant kind of confirmed it more that he's not planning to play this season. Jokic supposedly, I think he tested positive for coronavirus. As of now, I'm looking through my computer as of now. I guess he isn't back in the U.S. right now. I think he's still back home. So
Mm.
it might not. So the Nuggets might be in a little trouble, but I'm confident with Mike Malone could do with that squad and yeah, and kind of at least rebuild it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be weird playoffs because to be honest, right now no one has the advantage because either people have been tested positive or they're stuck in their home countries.
yeah, exactly.
Or and also there's people that just opted out not to compete because of their safety or right now because of their political views.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of opting out for many different reasons. And teams are scrambling right now. I know for the Lakers, Avery Bradley opted out, and just the reason Smith got signed and kind of hitting that death of the two guard with with JAR, Contavious Caldwell Pope, who I've been hearing has been having a solid season for them so far. Danny Green basically took over the 2 and the 3 spot when needed. You got Rondo at point, Alex Caruso basically being able to take over 1 and 2. Um, and yeah, as compared, but yeah, compared to that, I would say kind of for the West, I would say it would be for the West Finals, probably end up being a battle of LA with Clippers.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely with Clippers and Lakers kind of going back to back. Probably Lakers taking it 7 games. The Clippers, like I mentioned, I feel like they have a better bench rotation, especially with guys like Patrick Beverly, Montrezl Harrell, and others kind of leading that squad, leading that second squad. So
Yeah.
and East wise, I gotta go with either the Raptors and probably a bit of a shocker. Well, actually no, actually not. Let me change that. Raptors and Bucks, because I mean the Raptors. I know people kind of predicted them. All right, they're gonna take a tumble after Kawhi left, but I don't know, dude. They're
But
still yeah. Oh, go ahead.
yes, but sorry, but the Raptors, you gotta keep in mind they have Pascal who just been amazing since the last season,
Oh yeah,
who just
definitely.
been, who I think he was undrafted or just was late drafted and oh hell, he's been very phenomenal. He's the
Oh,
reason why the Raptors won against Warriors last year, to be
oh
my
yeah.
opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I kind of can't really disagree on you on that one because Pascal, last playoffs I remember this dude kind of broke out, was one of the main pieces to kind of be able to lead that Raptor squad, especially the 6 games of winning at Oracle, um, and especially now he's upped his playing level, he's upped his playing style. I think he's averaging more points per game now. And Nick Nurse has got that squad on lock defensively. Um, so yeah, I could see them. I could see them taking the Bucks to at least 6 or 5. Uh, Personally, I see kind of like the NBA Finals. I see it coming down to the Raptors and Lakers.
For me, I see both the West and the Eastern Conference Finals going down to 7 games.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely see that. It's going to be one of those things where it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to go down to the very last games and stuff. Especially with with how every team is playing, it's going to depend on okay, how much reserves do they have? How much how many people are coming into the bubble in Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Who do you have winning the championship?
For me, I just love a story with sports in general. For me, it's like with the death of Kobe Bryant, I just really want the Lakers to win this year.
Yeah, like normally, especially nowadays, I kind of have the Warriors taking it, but yeah, with the death of Kobe Bryant and LeBron, kind of, you know, before the season was halted, kind of leading the Lakers to winning that 17th championship in honor of Kobe. Um, it's no better way to rate the season. I know. Basically, they're gonna ball out as best as they can.
Hmm.
And then you got the other side with Giannis, kind of him being one of the people that Kobe challenged him. Oh, win MVP. Went out, did it. I could see which is the mostly predicted NBA Finals is Lakers and Bucks.
Yes. Now talk about the team I want the least to win will be the Houston Rockets because James Harden just he can score, but he gets to the free throw line way too often,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, basically playing soccer out there.
Oh yeah, it's just basically I kind of agree with you. I mean, there's no, we're not cutting short his ability as a scorer. That dude is, he's an amazing two guard. Uh, Basically, great skills in order to kind of hit the three from way beyond and all that. But the thing is, the Rockets, yeah, I can't see that because especially with the way they're built now. Westbrook and Harden,
On
they could,
paper, they're great.
yeah,
On paper.
on paper they're great. They're definitely, could basically line up the stat sheet with explosive offense and basically with just quickness. Thing is, they're not efficient. At least from the way I look at it, they're not as efficient as some of the other teams that are heading into the playoffs. Kind of like with the Thunder or kind of like the Clippers. Yeah, I just don't see it happen, especially with a small ball lineup. We have
Yeah.
yeah, we have PJ Tucker kind of coming in and as their center, as a starting center, you expecting to kind of face guys, uh, face guys, like Anthony Davis, Porzingis, potentially, Ingram, potentially Zion. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be a long 2 months, 3 months from late July to early October. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's early October. It's going to be the start of the free agency. We're going to cover that later on down the road as the playoffs go on, and because
Yeah.
yeah, because free agency that's going to be interesting. I know
So
basically.
the draft, the interesting. We after these finals, we don't even know when's going to be the next season. When's the next starting points at?
I think the last I heard, weren't they planning it to kind of start around Christmas?
Will that be just like going forward forever, or because of the pandemic, it's like we don't know.
Exactly. We don't know. It's going to be.
So basketball is a winter sport now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I mean, it's sort of dominated the winter sports, and now it's just kind of starting, in the winter, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff to look forward to. Where is Anthony Davis going to go after the season? I know Chicago's planning to make a run for him. LA obviously wants to keep him around, so well, not who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it all goes well. I'm interested to kind of get back into some playoff basketball, see who comes out, and basically just who wants it that much more for that trophy.
Yeah. We as best basketball fans, we always just need to make our NBA league pass matter now with our
Ah,
money.
yeah, definitely. Especially now that the last dance is over, bro. Yeah, I'm in the fucking. I'm just desperate for some basketball content at this point. Like it's like even
Mhm.
helping back onto 2K. So
Yeah. We can just watch Space Jam like on repeat.
yeah, definitely. You can't just watch Space Jam. Although I would, although Jordan dunking from half court it's yeah, it's always a good watch.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. It's a classic. You think LeBron's version is gonna live up to it?
With the new direction with film nowadays, I don't think so. Especially with just CGI.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it has potential, but I don't think it's gonna have the budget to be that special.
Oh yeah. It's not gonna. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's not gonna have the budget, but I still feel like it'll at least be like good, like a good watch because LeBron, he's a good actor. He's pretty funny as it is as well. So
What's the movie with Kyrie Irving as
Uncle
what's
Drew,
yeah, Drew, yeah, that's the movie.
yeah.
That was a good movie.
I've heard, like, because I know it came out. I think didn't it come out like a couple weeks after Endgame?
I think so. It came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a couple weeks after Infinity War. Then, I've heard it was pretty good. Basically, especially like after seeing the Uncle Drew commercials that he did for Nike and all that. I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Basically, switching over now. I know the one sport that has started up and has been going hard so far is soccer. Toby, what's going on in that end, man?
So, a lot of interesting things have been going around, but I'll just try to not go too long, as I'm good at that. I mean, Messi scored his 700th goal, which is interesting because I think he's in that level of where Ronaldo is, because Ronaldo has like 720 or 30 goals, if
Mm-hmm.
I assume, for club, country, and in general. And now Messi has finally reached it, but he obviously has fewer hundred games than Ronaldo, because
Right.
Ronaldo had a shaky start to build up. He wasn't a one club journeyman like Messi is. So it's very complicated to compare the two, but in the end of the day, we're seeing two of the best in the world you could see. Can't really put one over the other because it's so different. If you want to say by who has broken the most records, give it to Messi. If you want to say who's accomplished it all, Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with, especially because with the way they're still kind of producing at a high level, it's tough to compare the two, and it's one of those things where you just got to watch greatness. You got to appreciate the greatness that's happening with both of them.
Yeah, especially at a time like this where it's like when the world is going like crazy and all that, like sports is a good distraction and just kind of even sometimes unites us, because when we see like our countries win or like go to a tournament that we thought we never do, everybody just kind of like unites. And I think that's the cool thing what sports does. It just kind of makes us all forget our problems and just brings us all together. But other than that, I mean, Messi did that. Liverpool won the league, so I'm very excited for that.
Oh,
I
nice.
mean, it's been 30 years ever
Yeah.
since the start of the Premier League era. Liverpool has fought and fought, but never made it close. It was from the whole 1990s till before this year. It was been dominated by the teams like Arsenal, Man U, Chelsea, and then 2004, 2005 hit. City got their dough. They got a lot of money. Chelsea got it like earlier 2000s, but it's just been domination back to back between these teams, and now we have a new one. And then Leicester won it, which was obviously something. No matter what, like you can't that this team that started from the third division made it all the way, and then ended up winning the biggest title, and now basically spends millions of money for these players, but are doing good. It's a good story. And then now Liverpool, the sleeping giant, finally awakes and then rises and all that. Kind of makes it, like it's kind of interesting because I started watching them like the season before they were supposed to win it with Luis Suarez and them, but they didn't do much. And I thought, like what's up with them? Because I always grew up thinking that it was also like it was only Man U and Arsenal, like the bigger clubs. So I was like, all right, what's up with this team? And then I saw at the end of the season, I was like, all right, you know what? They're not that bad, so I'll give it a shot. The next season, that was when they were gonna win it, and I was like, oh, like they're gonna do it, and they lose it all, and I'm just like, damn. All right, next year, the next year, the next year, and it was just horrible, horrible. They made it to the Champions League, they were just murdered. Jurgen Klopp comes in, and it was interesting because when Jurgen Klopp left Borussia Dortmund, I was thinking, oh, this guy's going to go to the Barças and the Madrids because
Hmm.
he's just a really good coach. and then he went to Liverpool. A lot of people were like, "Oh, like this could be a good move, but I don't see it." Like, and the thing about like coaching a really, really big elite team, if you don't make the results in the first season, you're out of the door.
Right, right.
And I think in every sport, in all honesty, it shouldn't be like that, you know, because there will never be proper growth. Prime examples is like the Cleveland Browns and Chelsea.
Oh
Except
yeah,
Chelsea, they'll get a coach and they'll win something, and then they'll still fire them for whatever reason, and then get
yeah,
someone else,
yeah.
and then do bad, fire that person, get another one, do really good, oh, fire him again, fire that person. It's like it's sort of like the Cleveland Browns have that problem too, except they don't win anything. It's just they'll look like they're coming in, like they're gonna, oh yeah, next season they'll do better. They fire that coach, get a new one. Oh, maybe the next season they'll do better. Oh, fire the coach again. It's kind of in that awkward little thing, but yeah. So that was something awesome for Liverpool to do it, and I can't wait till the last game of the season, and then they're just there in their home turf, lifting the trophy. I'll be glad to call off work then, because finally, like, I see my team who started from nothing. Well, not really nothing, but kind of like there was this sleeping giant who looked like they were going to win, but fell and fell and fell, and then looked like they were doing good. Then they're doing good, but there's still that one thing that's missing, and now they finally have it. And to think that season was going to get canceled because of the virus thing, and if it would have been like the biggest slap to the face, because it's like we did all of this work to be in the most excellent form, and it's canceled because of something that we couldn't control. Like, it's like of the big, it's horrible. Like, it would suck, because then it's like, damn, dude, like we really put in all this work and nothing. But on another note, Bayern Munich are obviously champions again, which is cool. That's nothing new, but their main competitors, Dortmund, having a right back whose name is Achraf. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Hakimi, who was part of Real Madrid, but they sent him on loan there to see if he can build up. And then when he played in the World Cup, he did really well. And I thought, okay, there's potential with him, and Real Madrid could use this, because Madrid have a good history in just letting go of their players, but they'll sometimes bring them back when they're in a better form, or just forgetting about it.
Yeah.
So then and then since Carvajal, when they had Carvajal, he was really not good. He played in Germany with Leverkusen, and then, he stepped up and became better. They sent him in Madrid. Next thing you know, he became a pretty good right back. So maybe, okay, let's do it with this one. Hakimi became good. He can play in the wing. He can play defender. And the dude is crazy with pace. Why did Borussia Dortmund not decide to sign him up once his loan expires? Beats me. But now they lost a key player. And even Real Madrid, I thought, Real Madrid is going to keep him. And this could be an interesting addition, because, they'll have a younger team to build up. And there will be pressure, but they have the quality. Nope. Turns out he's going to go to Italy for Internazionale, and they're already doing perfect. They're doing really well. Well, they didn't win it because Juventus is top dog, but Internazionale he's been killing it. And I know Lazio right now have been, kind of like a mid-table team to being like competing for the title with Juventus and all that. So they've been a dangerous team, but Internazionale looks like they're rising up from the ashes too. I can't say the same for AC Milan, as much as they have all this money and spending it, but they're not there, which is sad, because I used to watch them when Kaká and Ronaldinho were running havoc and all that. So those were like some good times. But yeah, and it looks like the MLS isn't happening yet. Liga MX, no. San Jose Earthquakes, meh. I mean, they're there. I mean, I still have faith in Almeida, because Almeida did win the Champions League with Chivas, and he did kind of bring Chivas to become like a top dog team. But only when he left, things went shaky. And then recently, Jurgen Damm from Tigres got signed by Atlanta United. And Atlanta United have been looking like a pretty big team, only they've been After their first victory of winning the MLS, they just kind of went like floppy. But now with them, I think they'll have a pretty good, with a good winger on their hands because he's crazy fast. Why did she was not buy him? I'll never know. And then sad news. This would have been the year. This would have been the summer of another Copa America and another Euros, which would have been interesting because England left in the semis in the World Cup, but people are still kind of like, eh. You would have had a brand new Netherlands team with like some banging good players. Like we have Virgil van Dijk, who not captain, but led Liverpool in the defense, improved it from like the shithousery that it used to be. And then you have Frankie de Jong, who from Ajax went to Barcelona, and he's just like 19 or 20, and he's playing in the midfield role and passing Messi the ball. Like that's anyone's dream. And then Matthew de Ligt being picked to Juventus, kind of having shaky there, but I think he'll be fine. I mean, on top of that, it was Ronaldo who told him, "Hey, you're pretty good. Join my team," and he just said, "Yeah, in a heartbeat." Or else, who knows? He could have probably been in Liverpool with Virgil van Dijk because there was rumors of that. But hey, you know what? He wanted to play next to his idol. Go figure. You can't blame him. And then, so yeah. So far, that's pretty much from what I've gathered and seen. I mean, we have the Prem back, we have the Bundes, the Serie A, soccer's back. So I'm at least happy that we have something, even if they have to make all these dumb machine noises that makes it sound like people are there, whatever. Hey, I'm just happy we're watching something. And, for our safety and the players' safety, we're not, being too close to each other, doing all this stuff. And, yeah, I mean, hopefully football season comes in because if there's no football, oh no, it's gonna be crazy.
Especially
with all the money being wasted and all that. Yeah, no.
With all the money being wasted, and especially after a crazy, just insane offseason that basically just came out of. Obviously, the latest news coming from NFL wise would be Cam Newton, joining the Panthers, which honestly shocked me. Honestly, thought it was
the Patriots.
Yeah. Oh, Patriots. My bad. That's confusing it with the other team.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Honestly, shocked me because I bet, I didn't bet money, but I sort of thought, okay, you know what, it would be a perfect fit for the Chargers because especially seeing as how they got Justin Herbert, they got two other QBs. I know they got Tyrod Taylor, which, Tyrod Taylor is a good fit, especially meanwhile they kind of develop Herbert. Taylor's like a solid, game manager quarterback, but Cam, after thinking about it for a couple of days, I felt like Cam would have been a better fit in Los Angeles, especially with the weapons that they have on offense. They got Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Hunter Henry, and it's just like a high-paced, fast-scoring offense, especially for a dual-threat quarterback. But
for a quarterback that also loves to run too. So it's like,
Right.
I can run up and then throw too.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But you know what? Is kind of thinking about it now. I am very much interested to see what Bill Belichick does with Cam Newton. I know Newton, so the past couple seasons after he won MVP, just gone through injury, and injuries and it affected his play to the point where it's kind of declined in stats.
Right.
But if there's a coach that you kind of like, okay, let's see if what exactly, or if there's a coach that could kind of mold Newton back into form, especially and get him and basically make him more of a dominant pocket passer, I feel like it would be Belichick.
I mean, yeah, and then a lot of people, you could also say, could question that, but Brady, but the way how Brady and Cam play, there's a huge difference. And then, Belichick being used to how Brady plays, can you see that in Cam? But I mean, the same, you can also say not the same thing, but you could say that there is a similarity of how was it John Harbaugh had with Flacco and Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah.
He, the way he did, because Flacco wasn't, he's not a good quarterback, but he got the job done and he won it. And Harbaugh made him look like, like this dude was making mad plays and doing all this stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. And then he transitioned to a quarterback that's the polar opposite. He likes to run on his feet. He can throw good. He can throw far, but he's really good and agile with his feet, and he can do rushing touchdowns. And look how they did it in their first season. Just saying the first season, they were the Ravens that, as a Steelers fan, we feared. They were, they had a strong offense that we have to really be we have to pimp out our defense to combat that. But now they have an agile quarterback, so that's one more person. Not only do we have to tackle, but that's one person that could be that, like they say, that shadow. Like in soccer, we have a shadow center forward. Like they're not the striker going in for goals. They're just holding back and providing for everyone.
Yeah.
But in this case, he'd just be like the secret weapon. Yeah. Like he could convince them that he's going to throw deep, and he just runs, and then everybody has to cut a different motion and reverse the plans just to get him. And in that way, and he has someone like RG3 to kind of like mentor him and all that. So that's a pretty good, if you think about it, it was like a good setting in motion. Like, oh, they got RG3 as a backup, like poetically. After this dude, they signed this dude. So it's kind of like, okay, like the Ravens are making smart moves here. And then, if you can't say this, you could say the same that Belichick could get used to Cam and do all this, because if what I remember, they were saying something in the network, NFL Network, about like him having a better passing. He's better than Brady in like certain landing passes or something like that, like when he throws and stuff. So I was like, okay, there is like, fuck, how do I say it?
There is potential there, basically.
There is huge potential, and I feel like maybe not this season, but give it 2-3 more seasons, they'll fight definitely for like this AFC Championship.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because like Cam just has to get used to the system, but then he's gonna face an entirely different also division, because you have the Jets, who are but the Jets are kind of they've been kind of they've been fighting the good first half of the season. Yeah. Bills are gonna be a tough.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
No, because they still got to basically, they've been like for the past couple of years now, they've been developing just kind of like a hard-hitting defense, and now with Josh Allen kind of getting Stephon Diggs in order to complement his, because Josh Allen, that dude can launch it, and basically now you got a deep threat in Diggs, where it's the Bills as of right now, they're kind of my favorite to take the AFC East. I wouldn't necessarily give them the number one seed. I see them kind of going in third, fourth seed. But like especially last season, they proved they could do it. Just a couple more pieces, and
I'd say
contenders.
I'd say Bills would be probably third or fourth, because I think if we start this I think the Chiefs will take number one seed guaranteed.
Yeah.
Ravens number two, because I would say the Ravens could fight for number one, but the thing is, when the Chiefs get their things in motion, that's it. Look at the game against the 49ers. The 49ers had it.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, they calmed down. They're like, all right, let's do this one way. And they kept that flow in motion. It's like that emotion that you saw in him just went into the straightest poker face. And then just kept going. They scored, got the ball back. They scored again and kept doing it until the Niners were breaking down. And then that's when they're like, we read them, but we're still going to keep going as if it's a die or hard live or die situation.
Yeah.
And, they went at it. The Ravens, on the other hand, like they did well. And then whatever happened against
the Titans in the divisional playoffs.
Yeah, whatever happened against the Titans, that I cannot explain. Because I thought, you know what? I would want the Titans to win because I hate the Ravens. But let's be realistic. The Ravens have the better team.
Oh yeah, no, especially
not happening.
Yeah, especially coming in with the MVP of the season, Lamar Jackson, and a completely retooled offense. And credit where credit is due to John Harbaugh. The dude, he built an offense more around Lamar Jackson where it's suited to his strengths. Basically, let him let him run and basically kind of show up what he could do with his legs, especially on those sets where it's him, Ingram, and RG3, or you just kind of like stacked in the box. You're just trying to figure out, all right, who's going to get the ball on this option. Turns out it's either going to be and especially Ingram, because I mean, when that dude was in the Saints, he was a solid running back, but he in the Ravens, he's way better. It's almost a bit night and day.
No, yeah. And then, but it's also like I feel like Harbaugh had that offense. He just needed the quarterback that he needed.
Yeah.
He had, but since he had Joe Flacco, he's like, all right, let's make it work.
Yeah.
And I mean, he basically got this dude to somehow beat Jacoby Jones for MVP, which it still bothers me to this day because to me, Jacoby Jones, that was his game. It was his highlight reel.
Oh yeah, no, Jacoby Jones. Barring my fandom for the Niners, Jacoby Jones in that Super Bowl, he was like, pun intended, lights out. So,
yeah, he was like it reminded me of Devin Hester.
Oh yeah,
but like just the Ravens, which was like ill. But hey, and I mean, sad to say, I bet it for the Ravens to win. So when that side, it's going everywhere. Because hey, dude, if I bet my boss for a double pay. I have to pick someone that goes against him, even if it means it's going to kill me. But but if I'm going to be honest, if you can turn someone like Joe Flacco into a Super Bowl, like how many other teams actually are good enough to win it, but they lost to this dude?
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, hey, you know what? Harbaugh didn't. It's so sad that Jim never ended up winning one because he's the type of coach that deserves one.
Oh yeah, no, he's especially with the way he turned around the Niners back in those years where it's like, all right, you know what, we're mostly gonna keep all the pieces that we have and we're gonna turn this kind of like, especially the defense where it's like middle of the pack maybe into just like a straight up force, defensively with the hit squad and all that.
Yeah.
It was just it was artwork. It was like really, really great defensive artwork, especially with Willis, Bowman, Aldon Smith, Justin Smith, Carlos Rogers being a highly underrated at corner, Deshaun Goldson just knocking dudes left and right. So yeah.
Well, he went to a better place, to Michigan.
Right. Yeah. Still, it's a better place, but still ain't getting that national championship. So,
hey, big house.
I mean, like, no, but I don't know. It's like, not gone, bro.
Okay. So, what do you guys think about the number one pick in the NFL draft?
Who was the number one pick again? I'm like blanking out.
Joe
Burrow. Burrow.
So my honest opinion.
Go ahead.
Let me give my honest opinion. I am a Bengals fan, but I think he's gonna be a bust because in the beginning he doesn't want to be in Cincinnati to begin with.
Wasn't that just a rumor?
So just a rumor, but I can definitely see him from going to Los Angeles to Ohio. Yeah, so I just think his personality is just gonna be dragging him down.
No, yeah, go ahead, man.
I mean, not gonna be mean, but a lot of I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of people just don't want to be with they don't want to play in the Cincinnati region. I don't know, just because it's Ohio, but it's also because I feel like where the Bengals are at, they're in it's like if you get elected by the Steelers or Ravens, you're guaranteed you're gonna survive. You're gonna make it to the playoffs one season or another. You get picked by the Bengals and the Browns, it's kind of like a death wish because you're just you're in a tough division, and the worst part is the Browns are actually a better team. They just need to get their stuff. They beat you guys. They were third place, and I mean it's kind of like and then it's also the pressure you're gonna get because the Bengals are already a broken team. AJ Green's not getting younger, and then they lost some hard hitting defenders to other teams, but they still kept a few. It's gonna be like you got to be with this team for a while, and then you'll see results because he's gonna like Moberto said he's definitely gonna bust, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hated it because he knew he was going to end up there. I wouldn't be surprised, but hey, he should have just pulled the Phillip Rivers, the Eli Manning thing. But I don't know. And this is the perfect time to do it because in this era, everybody loves this drama.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody loves good draft drama, like surprise trades and whatnot. Like for me, I mean, I haven't seen enough of Burrow to judge. Like the dude can't, he can't play in his one season in LSU. I'm not gonna necessarily go ahead and say, oh, he's gonna be like a guaranteed bust or all that. I say he has a higher chance of it. Because I don't know, I've noticed a tendency in some quarterbacks that go number one, coming from a national title game, Heisman Trophy, and just overall breaking records to kind of like having that bus label like 2 seasons into the NFL. If the Bengals play it right, I could see Burrow still kind of developing into like a good quarterback in his 3rd season. It's just one of those things where with every young rookie that comes in, you got to put a veteran as a starter so that way he can suck up knowledge and kind of get comfortable with the system. But if
go ahead.
But if I had to choose between him or Tua, I would have gone Tua with number one because Tua, he has that game experience, he has that game film, he has that. Lack of a better term, like clutch gene, especially when he came in, because I think Jalen Hurts went down, or I forgot. I think it's either Jalen Hurts that went down in the national title game a couple of years ago, and and Bama just it's like, okay, you know what? We know you're a freshman, but you got to go out there, and especially against a Georgia team that's a Georgia squad that's for the past couple of years been either just balls crazy defensively or basically just a high-powered offense, a high-powered offense in the SEC. He got it done. Took it to overtime and got it done. And basically from there on out, managed to become like one of the best QBs in the nation. Before and honestly, I have the strongest feeling that he would have won the Heisman had he not gotten injured. Like week 10 of the college season, but yeah,
but I feel like it's a blessing in disguise because if the Dolphins could benefit a lot with Tua, but it would take time because after the beating they had last season and just getting rid of all their big best players, because the one that they got rid of from the Steelers, defensive back was Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Patrick, something like that. That dude is supposedly like one of the best, if not the number one best defensive back at the moment, like just of his potential and all that. And I'm like, see, like some of the players that the Dolphins let go, if it was like, I mean, I know why, because they're just like, this is a disaster. And even before the season started, it was a disaster.
Yeah.
And then, but I feel like with this quarterback, Tua, they have it.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. Luckily, there's no more Tom Brady. So you could say Campbell have his shaky games. If he were to play the Bills and be shaky, it would. Well, yeah, the Bills are a more, organized team. They have that flow. The Patriots are going to need that flow. And same thing with the Dolphins. So he might probably choke one against the Dolphins by some some last minute shenanigans.
Yeah.
So I think the Dolphins give it time. They get players, they draft some, and then they save up some good moolah, or they get more investors, get more dinero, and get some players that can function with the way whatever coach they get, or maybe just go for a better coach. Because if you have this kind of quarterback, you need a good coach that can see the potential and be like, yeah, we got to do this, and it is going to take time, but yeah.
Yeah, especially with the way that the Dolphins drafted this. Like in a blanket sense, so the way that they drafted this year, they were basically kind of covering their bases to basically protect Tua and hoping to develop the receiving core in order to kind of be a good fit for like later on down the line when Tua takes over. So I mean, a couple of years down the line, I could see the Dolphins with him under center competing for the AFC East title at least. Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
that's
You guys think
assuming the Jets don't get better.
Sorry. Go ahead, Berto.
Lever will finish.
Oh,
Sorry,
No, I'm
Toby.
just saying,
I can edit it out. Don't worry.
motherfucker. Anyway, I was just saying, like, yeah, like he could get it done with like the Dolphins and all that, but we also have to assume that the Jets don't get good. I know they're losing. I know supposedly they're losing Adams and Levante Bell, but I don't know. I think they're just chat and drama.
The Le'Veon Bell stuff kind of confused me because it's like, well, didn't this dude just request a trade? Then y'all just signed him like not that long ago. So why exactly? Like, yeah, the Jets, they're not the greatest team, but you gotta basically a still young QB with potential in Sam Darnold, and Jamal Adams. He's still, I mean, the Jets defense isn't the greatest, but they still got plenty of solid pieces in play there. So. That was just confusing to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead,
Alberto.
So the black sheep in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do you guys think Kaepernick's gonna get signed this season?
Nah, next season.
Yeah, next season.
Maybe I was hoping he was actually gonna get signed by the Patriots this season.
That'd be poetic.
Yeah, just a big middle finger to all these naysayers.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, the dude could still go. I mean, from what we've seen of like his workout clips recently, I mean, the dude still has basically the potential to still be a starting quarterback. If anything, I say the Chargers, like, because they're gonna
Chargers, yeah.
Yeah, they lost out on Cam, but you also got to take into effect that Cam probably, he wasn't gonna go in and be, 1 or 2, 3 year player just to groom Herbert. With Kaepernick, maybe not the same, but I mean, if I'm LA at this point, I kind of consider it so that way you can kind of have Herbert there, basically learning under Kaepernick, who was one of the main prototypes of that dual threat quarterback system.
Yeah, and this could also be a good thing for in the poetically. It would be interesting for the Chargers because let's say they decide to give him the preseason games, let him play, and then he gets in a good form, and then he's killing it while Herbert's training. I can see it good in a marketing way. Not trying to be mean, but they could use this like in a very marketing way because Colin Kaepernick is a very
he's a notable name.
Yeah, he's a notable name, but you could say like not a polarizing figure, but someone who there is an attention for because of stuff he's done. That's like Tekashi. Like his name is involved. You just look because it's something to do with this.
Yeah,
it could be. They could benefit from this, money wise, and I know it's kind of dark, but it's sports. There's also businesses. You also get something out of it. You know what I mean? And this would be a good thing for them too, because then later on the line, it could lead for, more care, more involvement for the team, and then more money, more things. And then, they could be that, not a sleeping giant, but, that team that went to a Super Bowl, but, lost. But, hey, you know what? We can fight for Super Bowl in this tough division. Raiders aren't doing so good. The Broncos aren't doing so good. There's the Chiefs, but we have that chance to go for it. And then with someone like Kaepernick,
Well, the only thing I think if he's not going to get signed this season is because he's asking for too much.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think that's what prevented him from getting signed last season or the season before that, is he was asking too much from his agent.
Yeah, basically kind of asking too much. Wasn't it kind of like he wanted one of those like
he wanted like
contract?
a max figure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening for a quarterback that hasn't played. And if it was last season, I don't see it happening for a quarterback that hasn't played like in 4 or 5 years at that point.
I think it's been 2017 or 2016. 2017,
yeah, it's 4 years.
Yeah,
so it's quarter 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, a quarter 3 to 4 years. asking for a max right then and there is nah, bro. That's not, that's not
No,
gonna happen.
you better make the Super Bowl one shot or else.
Yeah. And
Right.
that for that figure, you better kind of come through with a dynasty of Super Bowls, kind of like, kind of like almost like a mercenary, like Deion Sanders was with the Cowboys when they signed him. Where it's like, all right, you're bringing me in, fine, I'm gonna get you the Super Bowl. What he ended up doing, got him a Super Bowl. So
Yep.
no, yeah, but yeah, for Kaepernick, if not if not this season, next season, they're definitely it's either going to be Chargers. Who knows? Maybe another.
Bro. Oh no, I was gonna say Broncos, but no.
No, yeah, because
Nah, I
I don't
wouldn't
think.
see that.
Yeah, no, I don't think their system. Oh, it depends on they switch up coaches and are able to change the
Do you
offense in
also
order.
think maybe because Kaepernick didn't want to join certain teams, or he was being a pain in the ass to certain teams? It's because let's say maybe
You're kind of cutting off there, man.
Sounds like him in real life. Either way, I just feel what's weird looking for.
certain teams weren't very liberalistic as they slowly. Hold on. Wait, am I good or what?
You're getting better.
You're getting better, man. It's just kind of cutting off a bit there.
Shoot. Yeah, my AirPods are weird sometimes.
It's the same here, like especially when we're like just walking with them, it kind of like
Yeah.
jiggle too much. No,
But
but
either way, he can sign wherever he wants to. It's just what team is wanting to do the gamble with him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a team that's rebuilding, a team that's basically wants to groom a younger QB or a rookie QB, that would be the best bet, because it's
Yeah.
If he's asking to be like the franchise quarterback or like a max deal, that's not gonna happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's not like college football where they switch out the QBs after every half or so.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with those college scores that are just like that put up like 70 points at the half, and it's like, all right, just put in like the second and third string
Right.
dudes, and yeah, that's I don't think that's gonna happen in this case.
Yeah, you really want to commit with Kaepernick.
No, yeah, you really
Yeah.
want to commit with Kaepernick, and you kind of want to be ready for what was like the media kind of the media coverage coming in with him. So
Oh
Yep.
yeah, like I also feel like it's like what I was trying to say is like I feel like maybe he's being like a punk to his agent when it comes to certain teams for like when he wants to ask them for more money than like that's ludicrous or whatever. I feel like he's doing it to certain like teams that are interstate that are probably not as liberalistic as we have a California, for example.
mhm.
So maybe it could be like that because if it's a split rumor and nothing confirmed, then maybe it's like to certain teams that it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying that are not as liberalistic. Maybe
Mhm.
he's gonna be towards like because he's gonna be living there and laws are different. People have a different mentality, and
Yeah.
who are you? Yeah, so you're gonna want to ask a little more money for more security wise, or to see if it could convince you enough to go there. But as far as that, like I said, it's just a conspiracy.
No,
If he
yeah,
were to be offered to the Chargers, it would benefit him because, ta-da, California. So,
no,
and
yeah.
he's having a fresh start because he doesn't have to face his former team, the 49ers, and he can handle the weathers and everything. And then that's he is just gonna have to deal with Denver, which is probably gonna be tough. But we move on.
No, yeah, and exactly, and basically, like you pointed out earlier, in the AFC West, they're because the Raiders are still rebuilding, Denver is still rebuilding. The only other obstacle you kind of have to face is the Chargers. I mean, not the Chargers, the Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah.
But that's going to be a little shaky. It depends on where they fall on what they call the Super Bowl hangover, or it's like, all right, can these dudes are they able to kind of have the same great season like they did last year? Can Mahomes repeat the magic that he did? I think he
I
can.
think he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's one of those. It's gonna be one of those things where it's like, okay, you know what? Realistically, there's only one team there that's gonna be a challenge, and that's gonna be the Chiefs. So if you're Los Angeles, it's like, okay,
Chiefs
maybe.
and Ravens, but mainly just the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, mainly just the Chiefs. Basically, and maybe the Titans, because the Titans, after
I feel
bringing.
like they're like that. I don't wanna say mid-table team, but they're like that team that you always know that that they're known for not being good, but they just know how to give it to you, like
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, exactly. They're able to turn it up when it's necessary. Did so against the Patriots. Basically, in the wild card, heading into New England, um, basically heading into hostile territory. Derrick Henry played incredible throughout those playoffs. The defense also showed up, and Tannehill came through when he wasn't like a major factor, but he was solid throughout the time. Coming into the playoffs is I think the quarterback with the highest efficiency rating with the highest quarterback rating of the season. So yeah, I mean, maybe one more full season, and we'll see what the Titans could actually what they're capable of.
Yep. Remember the
Yeah.
Titans.
Remember the Titans, like that old Denzel Washington movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just that team that is shit, but well, I'm not saying like they're shit, but like they're just because compared to their division, Colts and Texans have been killing it. So
Yeah,
they're like that bad team that does good especially against like some bigger teams, but they can still not get like relegated or whatever because they still somehow end up either winning the division or just making the playoffs.
yeah.
So they're just there, and it's just like why,
And I, but basically, especially now, considering how the AFC South is like, Jaguars, they have potential, especially with Minshew kind of taking over for Foles. Texans, after what happened in the offseason,
oh my god,
dude, I want to speak on this a bit. Fucking DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals for
oh my god.
for David Johnson, and just why exactly?
Honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, I think in my opinion the Cardinals are gonna win the NFC West.
Yeah, like as a fan of the Niners, I kind of I still have faith, but the way the NFC West is shaped, that shit fucking it's scary because like that's got to be the toughest division in football right now. Okay, still have the Seahawks, who basically Russell Wilson still playing at MVP level, and they basically have like a top defense again, and then you have the Cardinals who basically just got DeAndre Hopkins. They have Christian Kirk. They still have a solid Larry Fitzgerald, who's basically going on strong in his like 15th season or so. And you got a Kyler Murray, who's basically offensive rookie of the year. It's frightening.
No, yeah, it'd have been cooler if the Honey Badger stayed, but hey, he went to the Chiefs and got his ring.
Oh yeah, no, that's a well-earned ring too, because because Tyrann Mathieu and the Cardinals, man, that dude was, arguably the best safety in the league at that point. Unfortunately, injuries, kind of came through, but he still played. Even through all the injuries that he's had, he's still pretty solid. He's been pretty solid, especially for Kansas City in the playoffs.
No, yeah, because he was doing good in Arizona. Because I remember they even made it to the playoffs at one point.
Yeah, I think they made it as far as to the NFC title game.
And then they were, I think it was the Seahawks that beat them, and then the Seahawks ended up winning that one or something like that. Let me see, because I remember they were like 12-4 or 13-3. Like they had a good season.
Yeah, they had a pretty good season. It's gonna bug me if I don't figure this out. Hold on.
No, because I know
The Fal-
it was basically after 2008. Well,
yeah, yeah. It was after 2000.
Falcons
Was that when? Was that when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl?
conference
Maybe.
champion. Oh no! Wait. Western NFL West 2015. Was it
No,
in
no, no. It was
2015?
no. It was a Panthers. It was basically Cardinals and Panthers NFC title game.
Oh, that's right. That was when Cam Newton was on a rampage.
That was Cam Newton's MVP season.
Oh, dude, that's right. Because I think when they did it, it was like I wanted the Panthers to win because I was like Cam Newton. He's going to be the first. Well, not the first, but he's going to be a black quarterback that wins it after a while.
Yeah.
Like, do it. Let's just go for it. Because I remember they were like, "Oh yeah, Peyton Manning's gonna retire." Like, what a good retirement present would it be if he would win it? Which I still think the NFL is rigged for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. And they beat Arizona for that, and it kind of sucked because I was like, it'd be cool if Arizona makes it. Just thinking because like I like Kurt Warner, so it was like, man, and he's just rooting for them. I'm like,
no, this was after Kurt Warner. This is Carson Palmer.
No, but I'm saying Kurt Warner was like rooting for the Cardinals.
Oh, right,
since
right.
I'm a Kurt Warner fan, I'm like, he's rooting for them. Like, why don't I do it? So I was kind of like, but I knew Panthers were going to take it because they were just on another level.
No, yeah. At that season, they were just straight up unstoppable. It was like,
and Carson Palmer started, right?
He started for that one. That's in Arizona because his run in Arizona. That's when he revitalized his career, and the dude was just he was good.
Yeah,
he was
because in Oakland, man, he was something else.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah, because I heard when he was in the Bengals, he wasn't bad, but it's just that they just got rid of him because he had a tough division, so it was hard for him to break out. They sent him to the Raiders, but when he was sent to the Raiders, he was like that all right, kind of like Matt Flynn, but not that bad.
Yeah,
and it was like, okay, so he can kind of carry a team on his own, and maybe that'll build him up. And then Oakland it just got worse when the Broncos were a thing, and et cetera, et cetera. So it was like, and then next thing you know, Cardinals, this dude's on another level. He's just good.
Yeah,
I'm just like, yo, where was this in Oakland?
Yeah, exactly. What happened in Oakland? Part of it had to do with Palmer, but I'm assuming the other part had to do with like the fact that Oakland didn't really build as much as around him as like after he left with Derek Carr, which I still think basically the Raiders from like a couple of years ago, where it was Carr, Crabtree, and Cooper. It was a straight up underrated offense. Wish they would have kept that, but. No.
Raiders is always just feel like they're rebuilding, to be honest, like every 5 years or even 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Ever since basically the Super Bowl loss to the Bucks, 20 years ago,
they fell down.
Yeah, they fell down. I mean, it looked like there was hope when, like I think it was Jack Del Rio's last season there when they made it to the wild card, and they had barely lost to the Texans, but it's like, okay, they finally went back to the playoffs. Derek Carr looks solid as all hell. He's gonna just give him like 2 more seasons, and he's gonna be that dude to lead Oakland back. But fortunately, John Gruden happened.
Oh no, yeah. And then I was just remembering they lost the Super Bowl to the Bucks in 2002, right?
Yeah.
I think what's kind of not like poetic, but like I was thinking is
it's funny.
After 2002, yeah, they became bad. It's funny too. But then that was their last, if you think about it, those were the last chances of us ever seeing them as one of the biggest AFC threats because, the Steelers at that time had 4 Super Bowls. Raiders had 3. Yeah. And I feel like that at that time the Raiders were going for it. They would end up giving Brady some trouble and stuff, but the Patriots became that team that was just to be there. And so like they said, like the Patriots just kept building and building while the Raiders became rebuilding. Because, like you said, after 2002, that was it for the Raiders.
Yeah.
But the Patriots ended up becoming
Yeah.
this team to win so many rings. Right now, they're at 5. What makes you think is if, I don't know, not Oakland, but the Raiders had their stuff good, it could have been the other way around. It could have been the Raiders being like the next, where the Patriots are at.
Being that dynasty, basically, kind of like that team. Yeah,
Yep.
with the talent they had in that squad, and basically they kind of kept, kind of like, because some of them, were aging veterans. They had Jerry Rice, in the twilight of his career. That Tim Brown, Rich Gannon. I'm blanking out on somebody on defense, but because that squad, it was a talented squad. They just happened to go up against their old coach, who basically.
Oh yeah, Charles Woodson was in the Raiders at that time.
Yeah, Woodson. Yeah, Charles Woodson, basically kind of being superb safety. It was just unfortunate that they had to go up against the Bucs with the Tampa 2 defense that, they should have crushed teams under that season. Especially with John Gruden kind of knowing the Raiders playbook like the back of his hand is, he basically took it to them, basically with Tampa Bay. Now that he's back with Oakland, it's kind of like, all right, this is just a weird circle that came around, and Khalil Mack is gone, Cooper's gone. Josh Jacobs, I'll say this, Josh Jacobs, solid running back pickup in last season's draft. So, I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens in Vegas.
Yeah, with NFL, it's like never given who's going to make it to the playoffs. It's like, other than like Patriots and Steelers, you can always kind of make them play. Like any other team has a chance.
Yeah, basically, like, especially now heading into the NFC South, where it's like it's going to be guns blazing. Now that the Buccaneers have, they got arguably the greatest of all time with Tom Brady, brought Rob Gronkowski out of retirement. They still got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Defensive wise, it could use some work, but they have a high-powered on paper. They have a high-powered offense. And also Bruce Arians, who during his time as kind of taking over for the Cardinals and all that, dude, he not only brought out the best in Carson Palmer, he brought out the best in that receiving core that Arizona had at the time. So that's gonna be like I'm hyped to see that. I'm hyped to see basically how the NFC South goes down, because you still got the Saints, who just added Emmanuel Sanders, Drew Brees, basically signed an extension, still basically putting up good numbers, like in his late 30s. Alvin Kamara, all around best back in the league, arguably. Michael Thomas, one of the top receivers in the league. And then I'm not gonna sleep on Atlanta either. Basically, just picked up Todd Gurley. If they could revive his career, that's kind of like, that's one of the things that nobody's really talking as much about, because you still got Matt Ryan, Julio Jones,
Right.
Calvin Ridley as well. The NFC South is going to be, other than the NFC West, the NFC South is going to be one of the scorching hot divisions in football. They still got the Panthers now being led by Teddy Bridgewater and Christian McCaffrey after breakout season. What's he going to do for a non-core? And DJ Moore, who's basically coming into his own as a second-year receiver. So,
Yeah. So my predictions for the season will be the Chiefs repeating, and the 49ers becoming the Atlanta Falcons, which they will get like 4 or 6 wins this season.
Ah, man,
that's gonna be my prediction. And a surprise for this season, I think, actually will be the Rams going back to their Super Bowl level.
Yeah, because the Rams, I mean, they got bit.
Went off a little. They went off last season just a tad bit, but I think they can do it again this year.
No, yeah, because the Rams last season, that was just like a fall from the Super Bowl. But really, when you think about it, it's like they still put up a good record, or like at least a decent record because they went 9-7. That's still
Decent. Yeah,
that's still a win.
that's average
Yeah, that's still a
for
winning.
a wild card team.
Yeah, that's average for a wild card team, especially for like a team that that's strapped in cap space. Especially after the Jalen Ramsey trade and all that. They still got Aaron Donald, who best defensive tackle in the league. Jared Goff, I wouldn't have given that big deal, but hey, that's them. I'm pretty sure Sean McVay sees something in him that is like, okay, this dude's, he's going to be our guy. He's going to be the guy to do it. We just got to, switch up the offense to basically kind of bring out the best in him. But yeah, I mean, like prediction wise, I'm gonna go with the faith. I'm gonna have the Niners taking it, but it's not gonna be easy. Like at most, probably third seed in the basically at most probably third seed in the NFC, because they're gonna battle some monsters in the NFC West, and it's just reality in a way where it's they're gonna have to kind of fight off the Seahawks, fight off the Cardinals, fight off Buccaneers, Saints, and everything because they're all gunning for the NFC crown. They're all gunning for that the Super Bowl crown. So I'm gonna say Niners rematch Chiefs, but this time Niners take it in a close one, just like this year. They basically do that, and plus you also got to think this is an angry Jimmy Garoppolo. This is Jimmy Garoppolo who's had an offseason, and a lot of people like to shit on him for basically he chucked in the Super Bowl, but you also got to realize this dude came back from an ACL tear, and was a vital part in getting the Niners into the Super Bowl, especially when in the second half of the season where it was like most of the defense was hurt.
Right.
Yeah, most of the defense was hurt. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I keep forgetting that this is his second season. I mean, this past season was second season. I keep forgetting it's first season because of the ACL tear.
Yeah, exactly. His ACL tear, ironically enough, coming against the Chiefs. But yeah, I mean, this dude, basically, did what he did. He basically played as great as he did in the second half of the season. People were kind of capping on him. Or Raheem Mostert, or he kind of gave the spotlight to Raheem Mostert, who basically was an absolute beast in the NFC Championship game. And he admitted, he's like, okay, yeah, we did it because the run game was working. So if it's like that old saying: if something's broke, don't fix. If something ain't broke, don't fix it. But now that he's had an offseason of people kind of, in a way, blaming him for that Super Bowl loss, I have a feeling you're going to see just like this motivated and pissed off Garoppolo, where he's just going to go ham on everybody.
For me, the Super Bowl, I just feel the Chiefs were the better team that day.
Yeah.
And all that matters. It doesn't matter if you got a very good season or undefeated season. It matters whoever plays the best during that Super Bowl Sunday.
No, yeah, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and they were they were the better team that day. Obviously, in the end, they were the ones holding up the trophy, and for the time being, the Niners were the better team in those three quarters, especially with that, defensive unit. But now that everybody's coming back healthy, everybody's got like a chip on their shoulder because they want that sixth trophy for basically for the red and gold. They're all like a more close unit squad as compared to like the last Super Bowl season, the previous Super Bowl. I could, honestly, it's going to be tough. Yeah. I mean, you got some killers out there in the NFC West and in the entire NFC, but I feel the Niners could do it.
They could definitely do it.
Yeah. Toby, who you got?
To win the Super Bowl?
But yeah, what are your predictions for the season?
from every division, or just like who's gonna win it?
In general.
In general, like basically, if you had to choose,
Why don't well, how about this? I got an idea. Why don't we just like let's focus on one of the conferences? Like, let's just go, I don't know, each division, and then say who do you think is gonna win it?
Oh, how about this? Let's give our top 4 picks to win the NFC, top 4 picks to win the AFC, and then just kind of like top 4 picks to win it all.
All right.
All right.
For NFC, top 4 picks for me, the NFC. Too soon, but probably the Cardinals.
All right.
Number 1. I'll just give up my first 4.
Oh yeah,
and then
for sure.
You guys can give out your first 4. I want to say Cardinals. Bit of a stretch. Niners. Maybe the Bears.
Ooh,
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
That's a bold call right there.
Yeah, especially like I kind of get the Cowboys part, but the Bears, you're choosing the Bears to win the NFC North.
It can happen.
Yeah, it can. I mean, but you still got to basically, if you take out Detroit, because unfortunately, it's Detroit. I don't see Detroit winning it, for sometime soon. But if you take them out of the equation, you still got Green Bay and you still got Minnesota, who, had basically, winning seasons last season. Chicago kind of stuttered with Trubisky at the helm and all that, but it could happen. It could happen.
I mean, the only reason why I say I don't know why, like, I just feel like, in my opinion, like, the Lions were a competitive team, but then things are going wavy. Packers are like that, like the top of the food chain dude who's lost their balance.
Yeah.
And now with all this drama going on with Love and freaking Rodgers, and then losing McCarthy, I think it's shaky on that side. Like, it's a big, like, they're going to stumble on some games. Minnesota, I mean, Kirk Cousins, yeah. The Vikings they're going to be one of the tough ones. I could have picked them too, but I was like, no. I think the Bears are going to be like that sleeping giant team. They're going to like pop up and then just surprise us all. They'll take advantage with their heated rivalry with the Packers, and then let's say they were to put Love against them, big oof. Do they want to underestimate the Bears? Let's put Love and not Rodgers. Or maybe they put Rodgers and Rodgers gets hurt, and then now it's the other dude, and then all this drama, all this and all that. Like, if you didn't think the team was a mess already, I mean, their main coach, who kind of led them to win the title, he's going to be with the Cowboys, which is a better team and all that. And then, so their egos are going to hurt and all that. And so I say the Bears can end up winning their division, but I don't see them going past anybody from the wild card.
No, yeah.
So I'm going to be honest.
No, yeah.
I'm going to say they're going to fight for it, but it's going to be like, they have one extra win. Like, it's probably going to be tied with either Minnesota or Detroit, but only because the Bears has more divisional wins, they're going to win it. It's going to be something really, really tight, but they're going to have that extra edge.
No, yeah.
And because you have Trubisky, but you have Foles, and Foles can be that quarterback that does but then he's also good, and he can go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Eli Manning beat Brady, and then Foles did, and then we've had other bigger quarterbacks that couldn't. If Nick Foles, someone that nobody thought would ever lead a team this way, can do that, and we all know that Chicago kind of had a player that was kind of like wild, like Hester and all that, so it could kind of bring that thing. It is a little bit of a stretch, but I feel like Chicago is gonna win their division, but they won't make it far.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Now that you bring it up, I can see that.
It was tough, trust me, because I would have said Packers, but then something told me main coach is gone. Rodgers is throwing a fit. Love has huge amount of pressure. The fans are gonna cause it all to go chaotic. Like I feel like the fans and all the drama, it's gonna get to the team,
Yeah.
and then the team being already a mess to begin with. So then there's that. Vikings are obviously going to be dangerous because you can't sleep on Kirk Cousins, but he's showing that time and time again he'll do good. But then if he needs that little bit of luck to win, but it might not happen this time.
Yeah.
So they'll have to read on that. And then the Lions are going to be interesting because I feel like Matt Stafford wants to prove this season. He's going to do whatever it takes to have a good season this season, so he can get out of Detroit. Because I think he's going to want to leave.
Yeah, because wasn't there like a rumor not that long ago that he was requesting a trade, or he's kind of considering like demanding a trade or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not living there, and he knows he's a good quarterback, and we know he can do so much better. But I think the Lions it's just not the team for him, and so he's gonna want this. He's gonna be hungry to win the title.
Yeah.
He's gonna be hungry to beat games. If he plays Tampa Bay, he's gonna be hungry to want to beat them or any big club, or not club, but any big team. So then, a team that needs a quarterback can splash the cash for him or make a trade, something like that.
Yeah. No, like I could definitely see that. 4 picks out of the NFC. Oh, go ahead.
Or like maybe let's say the Chargers don't get like Kaepernick. They just say they get someone, or they just maintain with what they have. Stafford does good. Chargers save up and they can go for him. Yeah. And that could be a good choice.
No, yeah, basically, especially with Stafford still being a solid option at QB. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how he performs in the Lions this season. Or maybe let's see, top 4 picks to win the Super Bowl. I got to go, like I said, keeping the faith. Niners. Cowboys, especially now with Mike McCarthy, because I felt like he got a lot of slack for like him getting fired from Green Bay and all that. But I think the dude could be a good offensive mind. He's a good offensive mind. He basically was able to help develop Rodgers into an MVP quarterback. And I'm interested to see how he kind of does it with Dak Prescott, who is still a solid quarterback. He's had his issues on the field, but I think he could. I think that's that final key to kind of bring in that's what Dak needs, or that's what Dak needed. It also depends on how his contract situation goes. But yeah, I feel like with that and with the multi-threat running back in Ezekiel Elliott, who had a down year last year, but let's see how it goes. And with the receiving corps led by a brand new Amari Cooper just got paid. I don't know why I'm always shaky with giving those kind of max out deals, because it's like, okay, we paid you, so hopefully you could produce. I feel like Amari Cooper's going to produce. We just have to wait and see. Let's see, Niners, Cowboys. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Chiefs in there because Chiefs always got to be a contender.
I thought we were saying on the. Oh, okay. No, I thought we were saying our NFC side. And then we were picking our AFC side.
Oh yeah, NFC side. Yeah, my bad. That's my bad. Scratch that. Oh, Chiefs, my first pick on the AFC side. Save it for later. Let's see, Cowboys. I'm gonna go. Shoot. I don't know. I'm gonna go New Orleans for third pick. Because there's also that thing of Tampa Bay. Yes, they're stacked, but you got to take into account that Brady's he's
getting there in age.
He's getting there in age. As much as I didn't want to say, because Tom is legit one of my favorite players, but Yeah, he's getting there in age. I mean, so far he showed that he could basically, he's like, he could fight back against Father Time in his playing style. But I mean, we just got to see. New Orleans, I feel like it's a safe bet. Drew Brees and Sean Payne have done this before. Basically going on multiple seasons, and yeah, basically with Brady learning a new system, which I have no doubt he could pick up, and he's going to cause trouble for the NFC South. But yeah, I got to go New Orleans on that one, and yeah, I guess Cardinals fourth pick. Actually, yeah, no, yeah, Cardinals fourth pick. That's a young squad, basically. Kyler Murray. Let's see how he does in a sophomore campaign. Um, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. What about you, Berto?
For my NFC picks, I had to pick the Cowboys. That's one down. The Saints, the Packers.
Oh, okay.
What?
And just because they have Aaron Rodgers, he can still do it. Kind of like a Tom Brady.
Yeah, he can still do it, and especially from last season, with the new coach of Matt LaFleur, the dude was basically still giving it a go at age 36. How he comes in, that's a question, especially now with the whole Jordan Love stuff. Is he gonna come in kind of like frustrated and pissed off on a bad way, or is he gonna basically take this with a chip on his shoulder and just be like, all right, fine, you want to prepare for the future? Not us, not today. And basically have another MVP campaign. So just gotta wait to see.
And lastly, I would pick the Rams.
Rams a dark horse choice. So that's
so AFC Chiefs is my pick to win it all over this season again. That pick.
All right, then. Why don't just kick off the AFC? Your top four AFC, and then me and Easy will go on too.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so she's my top pick. Then I have to pick. AFC is tricky for me.
Yeah, because it's more complicated in the AFC.
It is. The Ravens.
The Ravens.
Okay. I rate that.
And Steelers.
Oh, wait. Just because. Steelers. Wait. Hold on, Alberto, before you explain that. I just realized none of us picked the Falcons.
That's
Matt
like
Ryan and everything else. I think it's their front office that's pulling the team back.
Yeah. No, but didn't they get someone that, if I just remembered?
They got Todd
Gurley.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley. You don't think that'll still kind of push them? I mean, no, I mean, I noticed, but it's because like the Falcons, because they're that team that was like there, and then now they're just. Yeah. I don't know. I just found it interesting that none of us had them in our top four.
Yeah, like for me, the Falcons would be like an honorable mention, like 5th or 6th. Like, I have a feeling that it could be, more like
a wild card.
Yeah, like a wild card. I would say I still put the Bucks ahead of them, but I can see them kind of being ahead than like the Panthers or Eagles or whatnot.
All right, go on, Alberto, with the AFC.
I think that's all I'd say. Those just only have 2 picks.
Didn't you say the Steelers?
Okay, 3 picks.
If
I had to pick one random one, it'd be like the Eagles, I guess.
But
they're not AFC.
The NFC, bro.
Oh.
We're talking about the AFC.
That's right. Browns.
Yeah, I could sort of see that. Browns, they just got to get a consistent head coach. But with Baker Mayfield had an off season last season, but I don't know, something about the dude, like the potential the dude has. I think he could get it done with a consistent coaching carousel.
Yeah.
Let's see. AFC for me. I'm gonna go Chiefs, number 1. Have them taking the AFC title, but not repeating, getting close to repeating. Um, let's see. Chiefs won. I'm going to go ahead and choose Steelers at 2. Big Ben, Big Ben coming back. Juju Smith-Schuster being a top receiver in the league. Minka Fitzpatrick revitalizing a secondary. It's tough not to consider them a contender. Ravens at 3 and Titans at 4. I like what they've been doing.
Okay.
I like what they've been doing so far in Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill, came in, revitalized his career, rebuilt it. Derrick Henry, beast of a back. That defense, it's young. Basically got a good amount of experience in the playoffs. Has proven that they could hang with several of the top teams in the AFC. And yeah, I have a good feeling about Tennessee. Toby?
Sure. My top 4 for the AFC. I want to give Chiefs number 1, but I am afraid they might be in a rocky start, and the Ravens are going to be a team ready for it. So I want to put the Ravens at number 1. Number 2 being Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. All right.
3 being Steelers.
Okay.
Actually, no. I have faith, but I want to say it's tied for number 3 between 2 teams.
Okay.
Steelers and the Bills. Steelers and the Bills. I would have put the Bills on top, but there's just something about the Steelers. When they do one good season, then one bad, they're gonna get it's basically like they'll do good one season, bad, and then for some reason they'll do good. And now that I guess Big Ben has recovered from his injury, he's also dropped some weight. He's getting a little more mobile and all that. He's not getting himself injured because of his weight and all that. I feel like he's gonna start getting. He's going to want that hunger to be like, oh, I can still do it. I can still last longer.
Right.
I don't have to worry about Brady no more. Like, I'm the last cowboy and all that. And then, like Juju, Connor. And then, who is it? James or Jesse from one of the tight ends. I forgot the other receiver, but on top of that, our defense has been going good. And, mostly likely Big Ben's going to be like, I got to show why I can still do good because, the other 2 quarterbacks were he's going to, have to do that. But the Bills, on the other hand, are in a good spot.
Yeah.
They have a pretty good team that can last a while. And then, give them Miami, give them a beaten down Patriots with Cam Newton. Cam Newton could do good, but I feel like he's going to be shaky in this one. It's going to be iffy, especially with the team that always comes out fighting against the Patriots. Because almost every AFC team start out fighting the Patriots, and it's only because they can't put that pressure for too long. The Patriots just break through them like nothing.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a full power Bills team just trying to gun down on the Patriots. The defense of the Patriots could do their magic, but it's the quarterbacking and all that where it's gonna be like, you're gonna see they're gonna see that Cam's gonna try to run more than do risky passes, and he's gonna try to get the running back to do more stuff. So it's gonna be shaky for them. And the Dolphins, they're gonna need time.
Yeah.
So then the Bills are just a challenging team. You don't have to worry about the Texans. Colts, I feel like I did kind of want to put them on number 4, but I was like, no, that's a far stretch.
Yeah.
But I feel like they would be my number 5 pick.
No.
Because their division isn't that as threatening anymore. You just Titans, but if you can bottle them, if they mess up to you, you'll be fine. The Texans,
yeah,
they sold their best. Yeah, like I can't explain that.
Yeah, they still have Deshaun Watson, and this is going to be interesting because it's like, all right, Will Fuller still an absolute deep threat when he's healthy. And then everything else is just like, okay, if Bill O'Brien had like a master plan, and this, it comes out, it's like, okay, it comes out like an AFC title or Super Bowl, then we all gotta, those of us that got it, we all gotta eat crow at the end of the day. But I don't know, the way that they look on paper now, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my tough one. That's why I said it's better if it's tied at third. I would say that, like I said, Bills would have taken it, but Big Ben is dropped weight. He's getting fitter, more fit, and he's gonna be hungry to prove himself as the main, this old cowboy can still shoot and whatnot to these younger ones, who were kind of like taking the team a little shaky. So then that'll get them pumped up, and then especially if they get one win against the Ravens,
Yeah.
if they win it at Heinz Field, that'll give them the boost. Even if they lose it to the Ravens at their home, the Ravens have a pretty destructive audience. So yeah, it's tough being a Steelers fan. Steelers when you're playing in Baltimore's place, because bro, it's insane in both cases. But yeah. So if they can do that, that'll get them good. And if not saying they could beat the Patriots just for like bragging rights, like, oh yeah, like guess what, Tom Brady, I'm still here, and now I can destroy your club and all that. I don't know. It's like he's just picking a fight for bragging rights.
Yeah.
And then give him one against the Chiefs. Maybe they don't. Maybe they meet for like an AFC title or whatever. Or no. Like let's say this game. I want to say if they do beat them, if they were to play an offseason game against them, and the Steelers win, they'll lose in the second one. But let's say they lose to the Chiefs, but it's a close game. They lose to it, but then they're like, you know what? I'm going to be hungry for more.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So I feel like, yeah, it's just tight right there.
Yeah, it's going to end up being a tight one, especially in the AFC, because it's, now that Brady's gone, you don't have that. I mean, the next big obstacle for like any of the burgeoning kind of like young AFC squads would be the Steelers, and especially now with Big Ben kind of being that top QB, that top veteran QB, like you said, last cowboy in the AFC. So he's coming back, and he's coming back basically healthier, weight drop, and I'm pretty sure completely pissed off and ready to fucking go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all the time we had. Covered all our bases. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
No, not this time.
All right. What about you, Toby?
Subscribe to the Made Men YouTube channel. Watch our videos. Give a like and a nice comment. Follow our Instagram at Made Men _7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Urban Rangers Instagram, just Urban Rangers, and then Urban Rangers Facebook page. Yeah, bomb memes and all that. So get your daily dose of happy stuff and all that on the memes. Feel better. Kick back. Watch a podcast.
Yeah,
hearing us out.
Yeah, exactly.
All just friends with love, sports, and all that.
Yeah, exactly. All just a group of friends coming together with basically love of sports, whether it be love of sports, love of anime, love of video games. And yeah, I mean, and also a little bit of love of wrestling. I don't know if you guys have been following the New Japan Cup recently.
No.
Oh boy.
Ooh, it's been real. I'm super surprised Taichi made it this far, because I mean, other than the memes, the dude is legit good. Just a sucker for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but yeah, it's he's been legit good. I still think Hiromu takes the New Japan Cup, goes on to face Tetsuya Naito the next night for the double belts, but Naito, shows him, nah, young man, it's not the time. It's not your time yet. Just settle.
Okada wins. LOL.
Yeah.
God.
And then we'll go back to the glorious Ringmaker. This time, 1,000 days. 1,000 days as IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Don't you dare put AU on us.
Hey, but you gotta give credit. Even though it was annoying seeing him be a champion, if Roman Reigns had that reaction, WWE, I mean, you can only imagine. You gotta
Yeah.
think about it too. It's like I don't know. Like I'm not trying. Like I love Roman Reigns, but like when they really tried to put him in that spot with the heat he had, trying to make him into like their version of the Rainmaker, it's kind of like like as he was a long champion and all that, but the dude, did some good matches. I mean, dude, his matches with Kenny,
Ooh.
6, 7 stars, like that made people going like, dude, this guy is on another level.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, he still lost like some small matches and stuff, but dude, when you put the champion for his title, he's a whole different person.
Yeah, it's basically you put him on that big match stage. I mean, like damn near guaranteed that dude's gonna basically knock it out of the park. Did it back to back nights this year with Wrestle Kingdom 14. Ibushi and Naito. That whole 720-day ring. Not just with Kenny, but with Zack Sabre Jr., Fale, Sonata, Evil, and a whole slew of opponents. Cody, basically in the G1 special.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just
Okada won that one.
no, yeah. And basically, I like to, like as a sports equivalent, I like to compare him to basically what's Okada be, Steph Curry in this case, because I mean, you look at the career patterns, kind of early struggles in their career, Curry, with ankle injuries and all that, and Okada and his run in America and all that, but come back in the mid 2010s and just basically arguably either be the best player in the world or be the best wrestler in the world. And in this case, Okada is still my pick for as like the best wrestler in the world today. But that's for another time. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, follow us on our YouTube channel. Like Toby mentioned, follow us on our joint Instagram page. Alberto, do you want to give any social media plugs?
Not this time.
Berto.
Not this time. All right.
Don't
Follow.
forget to follow Shinobi Visions.
That's it. That's basically it. Don't forget to follow. Basically, post up some nature pictures. Basically, fooling around with my camera a bit, going on hikes. You know,
Ah,
yeah, dog. I am going on hikes. No one does mamando way. No one does mamando.
we just want to see how the drone fight, okay?
What's up?
We still want to have that drone fight,
Nah, dog. You can have a drone fight. I ain't trying to break my fucking drone. But who knows? That'll be a video of drone duel. If you hit up the Made Men Podcast Instagram page or the Urban Rangers page now at 2K, was it 2K followers or? Yeah, 2K followers,
2K
right?
255 followers, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 2K on Facebook and then 200, 500 on IG, right?
No, I'm 2257 on likes and like 2270 in followers. And my Instagram, I'm only at like 12, 14. Yeah, I'm still trying to get my people to hop onto Instagram, but since it's not up to date to the Curious Meme, I think maybe that's why. But I'm still working on that. But yeah, subscribe and all because memes make us all laugh, and we all love a good laughter.
Oh yeah, we all definitely love a good laugh. Basically, and also be on the lookout. The Lads podcast coming soon. Basically, video game discussions, just overall, I guess, shit posting. Our brand of comedy, which we'll probably find a little weird, but man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the end of the show. Signing off on behalf of Made Man Toby, on behalf of Alberto. I'm Easy, aka the Shinobi. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe, and peace and love.
Deuces.